What's the simplest thing that makes you happy? Making someone laugh. Even if it's a small laugh or smile, it still makes me happy. Especially if that person doesn't laugh much or if you make a joke that they really find funny. I remember in middle school there was a boy in my class who was mute, not sure if it was because he was unable to speak or chose not to. He was also always straight-faced. I'll never forget I cracked a joke or did something stupid in band class one time and that kid smiled and silently chuckled a little bit. I've been chasing that high ever since. Ducks. They amuse the hell out of me. Watching them bob under the water to grab a snack while their feathery butts stick in the air and their little feet pedal in the air smile. Last time I went to my local zoo I was in the underwater observation section where you can see the seals doing their thing. There were some ducks that had taken up residence in the enclosure and they were diving and swimming underwater. Fucking fascinating. You see ducks all the time but never underwater because the water ducks usually inhabit is quite murky and you can't actually see what they get up to. They're actually pretty graceful underwater. Probably the highlight of the day. Sorry Mr. Polar Bear. But you were boring as shit. Polar Bear, how's about you come over here and say that hey. Duck butts. I point them out every time I see them. I point and exclaim duck butts. And it never ceases to delight me. Duck butts are one of my favorite things. Saying the words duck butt is also incredibly amusing. Coming home from a shitty shift to see pets that are just so excited to see you. You kinda forget how shitty your day was because you know you've made their day by coming home. Solitude. I don't get it very often so it's very special when it happens. I've spent the last 5 years in 78% solitude and most of that time was in a dark room and I've never been happier. Quiet, alone, dark and cold sounds depressing but honestly after a few weeks you learn a lot about yourself and what you are mentally made of. There are a lot of downsides to it but there are also a lot of upsides. You can grow intellectually and also become happy with who you are as a person. Being alone is probably what saved my life because I learned to love myself for who I truly was. Were you in jail? We don't talk about that part of solitude. Fresh bedding. I was coming here to say this too. I was on mushrooms the other night, laying on a freshly made bed. Then someone proceeded to throw clean towels that were fresh and warm out of the dryer on top of me. I just trolled around for what felt like hours. It was heaven. Every morning I have the same breakfast, a toasted everything bagel with a fried egg and a slice of Monterey Jack cheese inside. Sometimes I get freaky and add some fresh basil leaves, with a cup of Earl Grey tea. Some people may say it's boring but it brings a smile to my face every morning without fail. My dad has the same exact lunch every single day for years now, veggie soup. He says it makes him very happy and enjoys the taste of it every single day he makes it. New wiper blades. I just got new ones 2 weeks ago and now I'm kind of excited to drive in the rain. Agree, but only factory ones. Life is too short for aftermarket wiper blades. I live in Arizona and obviously rain is scarce. I can't remember how many years it has been since replacing my wiper blades. We have had a monster monsoon season and I was thrilled to buy new wiper blades. Satisfaction on many levels. This guy drives. Especially after a proper wash of the car with some wax. Bliss. Compliments can make me cry because human kindness is rare in my life to this point. I started receiving more of it though. What's one thing you wish people complimented on you more? Literally anything. Compliments or at least genuine ones are so rare it seems that they have become so meaningful when I can tell someone means it that I am moved to tears. I definitely agree with you on this one. When I was in high school, I straight up hated it when people complimented me because I knew they were lying and were only saying nice things to get something from me. I usually receive genuine compliments from kids though. About a week ago a little girl said she likes my hair because it looks soft and I've been thinking about it every day. Nice cock bro, let me suck it. That little prrrrrrrr noise my kitten makes. Kitten startup noise. R/activation sound. People acknowledging my presence. What's one way to make you feel important? No one makes me feel important. They acknowledge that I'm there. Is there a way I could make you feel important? No, but thank you for your thoughts. When my kids say thank you dad. I love this smile. Hugs. Sending virtual hug. Me too. I moved off to college and went 3.5 days without a hug, which is actually a record for me. I'm so glad I only live 44 minutes from home. My college had a group of moms that would stand outside our library sometimes and offer hugs and homemade cookies from moms, and every time they were there it was such a nice thing in my day. Just a hug from someone who wants to make you feel a little better. It was so lovely for them to do that for complete stranger college kids. My husband has severe anxiety. Hearing him sing to himself when he thinks I'm not listening makes me incredibly happy because I know he's happy. Cheese. The first thing I bought with my own money, a block of Monterey Jack. Perhaps it was influenced slightly by a cheese-shaming incident earlier in my life. Do you mind sharing the cheese-shaming incident? I'm also a big fan of cheese. Mozzarella, brie, parmesan, anything, baby. When I was maybe 11 or 12 and visiting my dad in California for a couple weeks, my stepmother caught me sneaking a piece of cheese from the fridge. She sarcastically told me to go ahead, help myself to the cheese, have all the cheese, and stood there while I had to eat it all. She was a bitch. WTF. Just reading about your experience made me angry at her. Sneak into her house in the night and steal all her cheese. Dogs. Whenever I'm feeling low, I just go to a nearest park to watch dogs run around full of joy. Sad's cured. Couldn't agree more. They're just so full of love. Yes. This exactly. They've been such a big part of my life, and I can hand on heart say that one of our dogs, Oscar, is the reason I'm still here. I regularly take walks to the local park because not only is it a beautiful place but there's so many people walking their dogs. I'll sit on a bench by the pond and smile like a goofball when they stop by to say hello. I used to love watching videos of dogs, but now since my doggo passed away I get too sad. They still make me smile though. I swear to God I initially misread this as drugs and had to do a double take. A text from Mom. What's your favorite text to receive from her? It really doesn't matter. I just know she was thinking of me, and that's a nice feeling no matter how old you get. I envy that. My mom passed over 30 years ago. I miss her every day. Would love a text from her, heart, seagulls. A bag of bread and a flock of seagulls will keep my happy for hours. I'm a simple man. Edit, bread is not good for seagulls. Understood. Trees. I love trees. Trees. Even more lovable when you are surrounded by them. Cold rainy weather or just a dark cloudy day. Yep, I'm weird. God, I fucking love a cloudy chilly fall day. Nightingales chirping at 5 a.m. just as the sun starts to rise. Seeing my girlfriend sleep. Been sleeping in the same bed for 1 year and it still makes me happy. Horses, the ocean on a stormy day, people being kind to others. Horsies when you see them on a road trip. Is it just me, but even though I'm an adult I still yell horses? I did that not long ago, in the work truck on my third 18-hour shift with barely any sleep. The following transpired: me, aw-wee horses. My boss, psycho, those are cows. Me, aw-wee cowses. It was an amazing day. I've never traveled much, and I also have some degree of travel anxiety, so I've got some things to work on. But at night I love to open the flight tracker app on my phone and see where the planes overhead are coming from and flying to, and remember how much there is to go see besides my little corner of the universe. This is such a beautiful and thoughtful answer. I personally love looking at the moon and imagining how many other people are looking at it from all over the place at the same exact time as I do. Cake. A house full of food. I love opening up all the pantry and cabinet stores, fridge or freezer, and just looking at it. Honestly, me too. It's oddly satisfying and it feels good to know that we have food to eat. So many people don't get to, unfortunately. The sounds at the beach make me so happy and relaxed. I live in the Midwest, so it's not often I get to go to the beach. I live close to a huge lake which pretty much reminds me of the sea, and whenever I go there I feel so alone, but in a good way. It makes me feel bigger than life, yet it makes me realize how small I am. Fireflies. Hope you enjoyed. Feel free to request any topic and please consider subscribing. Thank you. Smile.